I spend way too long saying to masterminders, buy bigger businesses, don't I? I go bigger, go bigger, go bigger. You know, don't mess around with these small businesses, go bigger. Never run the business yourself. With lots of caveats to that very bold statement. Many entrepreneurial people, and I guess most of us here would consider ourselves to be entrepreneurial in some way, are not very good business operators. So we're great at ideas. We're great at motivating people and finding the opportunity. We're great at pushing everything forward in the right direction. We're great at all those things. But when it comes down to the nuts and bolts of operating the business, that's not really our skill set. So find someone who loves it. Someone who loves operations, someone who loves spreadsheets and finances, who can be all over that cash flow. Find the right people, because if you try and do it all yourself, number one, you probably won't be very good at all those things. There's a big difference between running a business that does 100,000 a year and running a business that does 5 million or 10 million, a huge difference. And also find people who are better at it than you ever would be, but as importantly as that, what's going to happen is it's going to free up your time. And when it frees up your time, you can then go and do other things like find another business to buy. Okay? So freeing up your time is way more important. Now this means that you have got to let go. You've got to delegate. And I wrote an article for a business magazine years ago about why small businesses stay small. Why do small businesses stay small? And I'll tell you why small businesses stay small. It's because of you and me, the owner. That is why small businesses stay small. It's because the business is limited by the size of our thinking, by the size of what we believe is possible, by the size of our amount of time we can put into it, how much stress we like taking on, just by our general skills and capabilities. We are the bottlenecks in our own business. Okay? So by being the bottlenecks in our own business, what you don't want to do if you're going to become an acquisition entrepreneur is be the bottleneck in the next acquisition. You don't want to do that. So you need to find the right people. Every masterminder who's bought more than one, so several businesses, always reports back that putting together the A team sooner rather than later felt expensive, but was the very best idea. Okay? So David, who was in domiciliary care, grew the business just over 20 million of revenue. He sold it with a very good upfront cash plus earnout totaling about 18 million pounds 4 years after joining Mastermind. So it was a 4-year journey, 18 million. And I've interviewed David in front of different groups in the last 12 months. If he hadn't hired the right person to run the business, the right CEO, it never would have happened. And it took time for that person to bed in. It cost a lot of money. And I don't know how much, but I would imagine about 130, 140, 150,000 a year. You might think that's shocking. You know, I would never pay someone that money. But if you're building a 20 million plus business that's going to make you 18 million pounds, I mean, it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing. There are some share options in there as well to incentivize the focus and the outcome that they wanted. So I think that getting the right team around you is the make or break. The wrong team, the wrong management, the wrong expertise, people who talk a good talk, but when they actually come to rolling their sleeves up, don't want to get their hands dirty. And there's a lot of people who love telling everyone else what to do, but they never actually do anything themselves. Now, in the early days, you want operators who will get in there and do it, and they'll do the early mornings and the late nights, because I think you should be spending more time with your family. I really think you should, because you'll never get the time back, and no business is worth missing out on your children growing up. Does that sound like a sensible plan, right? Because if you do that, you will always regret it, and no business is worth it. You'll never look back and, you know the saying, don't you? No one ever on their deathbed said, I wish I'd spent more time in the office. No one ever does that. If you want to find out how to buy a business successfully, get your free business buying toolkit. The link is in the video description below. You can be sucked back into a business or into the business that you bought one day at a time, where because you're good at something, you sit down with the sales team or the operations or the admin and you say, right, okay, this is what I think you should be doing. And people, oh, that's brilliant, you've got some great ideas. And then they every time you go in the office, they say, have you got 5 minutes? Have you got 5 minutes? Have you had that? Those of you who employ staff, you've got 5 minutes. You haven't even taken your coat off. And they say, have you got 5 minutes? And you start solving everyone's problems because you're so good at solving problems. And it's quite flattering because you can solve all these problems. Everyone comes to you with the questions. You've got all the answers. Very, very flattering. And then what happens is that you say, well, I'll come in every Monday. And then they say, well, do you think you could come on Wednesday this week as well? Before you know it, you've got a desk, you've got an office, and you're there every single day of the week, and you've got yourself a job. You can create a job for yourself 1 hour, 1 day at a time. So what I would always be doing is making sure that there is a distance between you and the business. Sometimes a physical distance, but definitely a delegation distance of someone asks you a question and your reply is, so what do you think? If I wasn't here to ask, what would you do? What would you do? You just bounce it straight back to them. You know with children, if you don't let them do things themselves, you always make their bed. You never tell them to make their bed. You always make their bed. Will they be adults who make their own bed or adults who leave their beds messy in the morning? They'll never make their own bed. You teach them not to do it themselves and they won't do it. So what we mustn't do is let our team be undermined by us being really smart at something or enjoying it. Presumably if you enjoy it, you're smart at it. And therefore, as a result, you end up with people who depend upon you. Does that make sense? It might be a managing director, it might be an operations director, it might even just be an office manager for some businesses. If the business can't afford that person, and they can't afford that person very soon after acquisition. So sometimes you buy something and you can cut some costs pretty quickly. But assuming that you can't do that, then maybe you're buying the wrong business because you would just be buying yourself a job. I spend way too long saying to masterminders and guys, you know, I'm always saying to buy bigger businesses, don't I? I say go bigger, go bigger, go bigger. You know, don't mess around with these small businesses, go bigger. Because if you get sucked into the small businesses, you know, I had a client in Canada. They were going to buy an accountancy practice. I said, tell me about it. They said, there's 4 people. I said, okay, sounds a bit small. And he said, well, one's the owner, one's the owner's wife, one's the owner's son-in-law, and then there's a great admin person. And I said, well, what's going to happen? Is the 3 of them going to leave? Oh, no, they said they'll stay. No, they've got to say they're going to stay because otherwise you won't buy it. But you can't go around to their house in the morning, pick them up and chain them to their desk, can you? They won't come to work. You'll be left with an admin person who's going to go, well, I'm not going to do this. Off they go as well. And there's no business. You just bought nothing. You bought nothing. Now, if you already run an accountancy business, you might say, look, I'm very happy for you to go because I've got all these people over here. All we need to do is transfer all the client files and we'll just carry on with them as though nothing's happened. And that would work just fine.